I guess if you coach long enough, you're in a game like that, and certainly one game I can think of, and all the time I've had the good fortune to coach that was similar was our win over Lipscomb the first time we got to go in an overtime game. But this one was even more dramatic. And I can't go any further without talking about Murray State and the success they've had in the program they've built. How many? I think we got all our seniors here. How many? Sorry. That's a championship game with a whole bunch of players that won 2 consecutive conference tournaments. That's almost not possible to happen unless you've changed conferences. Somebody's changed conferences, and then it's really unlikely. So a lot of pride on that team, and a lot of great players, and the way they played and shot it. We were really fortunate. Stacy Wilson was just. I think we all thought he'd beat us on that end of the shot clock throw in, and so our hats are off. We got a lot of respect for what those guys have accomplished, and this game is a great game because of how good their program is.
Questions? Any thought about not going back to N after using the regulation? Or do you feel like it was still okay in overtime?
Say it
for the final possession.
Not going back to Ian?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ron.
Oh, well,
that's
you know, for the overtime final possession was a play that we'd set up. We talked about today in practice as being a play that we would run, and they just wouldn't let us complete a pass to initiate the play. So we just went to playing whatever it was, which is what we've done all night long, is go set a ball screen for Karan, and they were switching ball screens at that point. They did late in the game, and so he had to put a big time fadeaway on it to get it over Daniel, a great athlete, long athlete, great jumper, and I think I told the folks on TV afterwards, I've coached now over 1,000 games, and I think literally only 2 or 3 of those have been won on the last second shot. I think that qualifies as the last second shot, and so that's a pretty good one to come in. And he made the shot in the regulation. I mean, the shots he made, the plays he made, pretty incredible.
Yeah, that shot at the end of regulation, how close were you to calling the timeout after Daniel missed the free throws? Or did you just let Karan make a play?
No, I don't like to let defense get set up. That's just pretty much what we're going to do. We're going to open it up and let him drive. He's hard to guard. He gets fouled a lot. And ironically, probably the thing he does less well in some ways is make jump shots. I mean, he gets it to the goal. He gets fouled. He probably doesn't shoot. You know, he probably didn't shoot 15 of those that he made at the end of a year. Stop and shoot a 15-footer. He takes it all the way to goal, and then occasionally jump up and shoot a 3.
Ian, last night Karan talked about what it was like when you were on and making shots. When he has the ball in those situations, what do you see, and how hard to stop is he?
He's very hard just because because there puts shooters around him out on offense, and he's such a great driver that gives him the opportunity to make plays and make decisions based off what the defense does. And tonight they were kind of place guarding a lot of our guys, not letting us get off 3-point shots. And that's what opened up the lane for him. And like Coach Byrd talked about, them switching and going one-on-one with a big guy, taking Karan in those odds.
Rick, there was a lot of talk about whether you guys would deserve an at-large bid had you not won tonight. You don't have to worry about that now. I'm sure you're happy. Any thought? You've got a top 25 RPI right now. Any thought on where you think you deserve to be seated?
I had thought about that question because I knew that we could lose either of these games, and I knew the question would be asked. And I think, first of all, we don't know what's going to go on from now till the selection Sunday, and that will impact our seed without question. But I think the best thing is to trust those guys to get in there and do the best they can. I mean, it wouldn't matter, if you had the 12 apostles in there doing it, that somebody would really be upset about the outcome. And I think we've got. Was it 12 of them, Joe?
They red-shirted one.
I know which one they should have red-shirted. At any rate, I think we stand to have a good shot at certainly the best seeding we've ever had. But who knows how much the RPI means in that room? Everybody talks about it. We know it's the only thing they look at. It's a mathematical formula because they won't look at the others, but because they take into account margin of victory, and they don't want that to be part of it. So I don't know, but I suspect we got a right chance at 11 or 12.
Coach, Cron goes down and he's bloody, he gets his chin bandaged. Were you looking over there wondering how quickly you could get him back in, or how did that go?
So when something like that happens, there's just so much else to do that you don't spend any time. I didn't know whether he would come back or not. And you just got to get the next person in the game and play it. And in fact, I'll be the first to tell you, we made our comeback at the end of the first half with him sitting over there. Reese came in and made some great plays and made things happen, or we don't win the game if he doesn't do all that. So you never know. We did the same thing last night with you on the bench, didn't we? You don't have to admit it, but we did. and so our team is certainly more than those two guys, and they just happen to be the most outstanding guys and the guys you notice.
Coach, on the last defensive possession of regulation, was pretty well the goal, just don't let Isaiah touch it?
We tried not to do that for sure. We didn't want him to. We took the guy that was guarding the inbounder and we call it twist and turned around, and so he faced guard another guy guarding, tried not to let him have it, and they ended up having not getting a very good look because they wanted him to have it as they should. That guy can get his own shot better than anybody. One of the best in the country at really getting his own shot.
There was a long delay there at the end of regulation, I guess, about time on the clock and position of the inbounds. What was the explanation, and how much did it help getting the ball back that far?
I didn't think, wasn't it the clock didn't start? Is that what, they had to find out how much they got to take off because it showed 7.3 and it ended up being 6.2. And I know Tyler Hallway on our staff was telling me when he said when they blew the whistle, the ball was back here. He kept saying that during that whole delay, and we were, I don't know about afraid, but we thought they might get it all the way up to the hash mark in front of their bench. So I think that's what they had planned for in that whole time, and I don't guess they ever asked, where's the ball going to be, which is, something good to do if you think of it. But believe me, I'm not second guessing. I don't think of a lot of things that's going on. So anyway, that helped us because I think they probably couldn't do what they really wanted to do, and they just had to improvise.
Coach, can you speak to your support from your students, your people at Belmont, and the Nashville community?
Well, yeah, I can, and we're happy to, and it's grown dramatically. And being in the OVC this year has made a huge difference in our attendance. It's made a huge difference in the coverage that we've gotten in the local media, and the fringe fans, I guess, for lack of a better term, they know the OVC and they know the schools that are in it. And now we've got a bunch of rivalries that they care about, and they get to come here and see the tournament. And Murray State has a phenomenal following, and I knew it was going to be a little strange to be in a building in Nashville and have more people for a team from Murray, Kentucky, but that's all to their credit, and we're getting there. We're getting there.
For any of the players going into the OVC, now you have the tournament title, automatic berth. How good does that feel, and does it feel any different from the last couple?
I think it definitely, this one, the ones we won in A-Sun, I think this one means a lot because preseason they didn't have us winning this, and just to come out here and do it, feels great. And the way we won with overtime and Karan's shot, I mean, you can look back at this and remember forever.
Rick, you guys had to,
Joe doesn't want to hear a thing you have to say. I just asked. Go ahead, Joe.
you had to play 2 games in this tournament to win the whole thing. In the Atlantic Sun, you had to play 1 of that sometimes, I think. But how difficult was it to win these 2 games? With the physicality?
These 2 games were harder to win than any 2 semifinal, final games that we played during the Atlantic Sun. The teams were just, I mean, I'm assuming our team, you know, with the high RPI and the record and all that, this team is as good as or better than the other 5 championships we had, and we certainly didn't have. I mean, the first year, beating Lipscomb was an overtime win, but those teams, frankly, were probably RPI of 150 or something, 140. I don't remember, but not near the where we are now, or as competitive nationally as we are now, no matter how you slice it. So, yeah, no, these we had to beat 2 teams as good or better than probably than any team in all the ASUN tournament games. Now, I'm not being critical. I think overall the leagues have been relatively comparable over the last 5 or 6 years, and hopefully us coming in here has strengthened this league in comparison. But the 2 games were just tougher. They were just tougher.
One more question.
Rick, this building was once your home court for a short period of time. How far has this program come since then? Did any of your players know that this used to be?
I don't know if they do or not. I don't know if they know we played our home games here or not. We played most here. We played a few down in whatever, Freestone, Gaylord, or whatever it's called. It has been called. We played 1 in Aquinas' gym. Seats about 32. I don't think it was. You know, it's just hard to imagine. Just hard to imagine when you think back. And you know, we won the North Division champion of the Atlantic Sun here. Beat some good programs, Sanford, Georgia State, people like that in our last year in this building. And so we were making progress. But there's no question that the Curb Event Center and the growth of our university, the quality of the campus, the buildings, the teaching, the students, all that has helped us. And frankly, the city of Nashville is such a great place to recruit to. All those things have combined. But the Curb Event Center probably, it made us look like a Division I program for the first time.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Ron Johnson is getting stitches. I will have the video in 10 to 12 minutes.
As far as the question on the officiating, I have a statement from our coordinator